Alright, my name's Stan. Welcome back to the Drum Cave. I'm a little bit hot and bothered. I've just been doing that for the last hour and a half, but I thought, I better get on here and record a video. This week we are talking about endorsements, so let's get into it. So before we start that, I just wanted to say that my episode of the PRIMUS Audition has now gone live on their YouTube channel. So it's episode number 4, and it was quite a surreal experience to watch it back. So what I remember from the experience, because it is a while ago now, I think it's a couple of months at this point, is pretty much exactly as to what came across on the camera. It was really cool to hear Larry and Les talk about my playing from their perspective, and then just watch the shared experience play out as well. So if you want to watch that episode, I'm going to link it down below. Otherwise, I will be going into it all in more detail next week, so stay tuned for that. Now let's get into it, endorsements. So before we kick off, I thought I'd start here. It's a poignant topic because I've officially re-signed with Yamaha Drums. Now, in terms of gear, I love their Absolute Maples, I love their Hybrid Oaks, but coming back, I wanted something a little bit different. Something that truly represented where my sound is at now, while also honouring the history of the brand, and also drums as a whole. Enter the mighty Recording Custom in the iconic Steve Gadd Piano Black. So Steve himself spent 3 years working with Yamaha, refining key aspects of this kit to help sort of bring it into the modern age. Features to help increase the tone, the playability, and overall performance. And here's what they came up with. So first up, a 6-ply birch shell as opposed to 8. Now, birch is probably my favourite wood that I've played over the years. It was actually the first wood that when I played a original Premier Janista, I asked, what is this kit made out of? Because I was so impressed by the sound that I heard back. That was way back when I was 17 years old. So to be back on birch is basically perfect. Birch has a sort of like a natural gate built into it, so it doesn't ring on forever. It's nice and big and fat, but it's sort of got a good cut-off point as well. And that's what I'm wanting right now. They went from 45-degree bearing edges to 30 for a rounder, warmer sound. They upgraded the 2-point yes mount for better shell control while still maintaining good resonance and sustain. Heavier weighted lugs for more shell control. And of course, not that it's new, but I wanted to mention it, the classic T-rod bass drum claws. I'm a sucker for design and I love the details with those. This kit has everything that I love about Yamaha. It's historic, it's iconic, it sounds amazing, and it's basically built to deliver no matter the setting. Endorsements are great, yes, but they're not easy by any means. Choosing to work with one company, for example, basically means you're choosing not to work with another. I take these decisions very seriously because they don't just affect me. They impact others too. I always weigh things up carefully before pulling the trigger, ensuring that it's the right move for everyone involved, and this very much was. So if you've been following me for the last little while, you'll know that for the last couple of years, I've been playing a New Zealand brand, K-Drums. So K-Drums is a phenomenal NZ company where Ben makes the stave shells out of New Zealand hardwoods. He's a top tier craftsman and second to none. So when I moved back from Melbourne to New Zealand during COVID, right then my 3-year contract had ended with Yamaha. And as soon as I got back, I actually got Ben to make me a K-Drum snare just because I love snares, as you can see in the background. I love boutique snares made by individual craftsmen and really just wanted to see his build quality and also represent some New Zealand gear. And then also at that time, I wasn't really focused on overseas. I was looking forward to and basically all in on the New Zealand scene and just decided to dive into that. So once I got Ben's snare and realised how amazing his builds are, and with international touring off the table, I decided to work with and fully support K-Drums. Basically to be a part of something special inside New Zealand. But once I'd settled in and the world started opening back up, international opportunities started presenting themselves again. And with that, my desire to pursue these opportunities grew as well. So whenever I did go overseas, I still opted for Yamaha whenever I could, even without official support. Why? Well, simply because I love them. They're incredible drums and it meant I knew exactly what I was getting on arrival. I trusted them completely. As a professional drummer and for someone as detail orientated as me, the biggest priority when you go overseas is knowing that you can rely on the gear, no matter where you are in the world. That peace of mind as a performer, from my perspective, cannot be overstated. Now, when it comes to K-Drums, I still love them. Ben makes fantastic drums. Actually, I've got one just over here, if we have a little look. Behind the curtain veil. Boom, just there. I mean, of course I do. I've got 2 snares too. They are exceptionally well-made drums. But as I say, when it comes to aligning for my future, with more international touring on the cards, I've just secured a 7-week UK-Europe tour mid-year, drum clinics, drum festivals. Having that weight and support of a global drum brand is what I need right now. It's actually crucial. So knowing that I have Yamaha for my backline needs no matter where I am in the world is a huge relief. So a big thanks to Ben at K-Drums. You make absolutely phenomenal drums, man. I'm still going to play them, and I hope more people do too. But also, a massive thanks to Yamaha Drums and Music Works New Zealand, specifically Steve from Music Works New Zealand. You're a legend, brother. Alright, so today's topic, endorsements. This is a hot topic in the drumming world, and I get asked about it all the time. How do I get endorsed? What's the process? What do companies look for? Do I need to be famous to get endorsed? In short, the answer is no. But yes, but no. There's nuance to it all. But let's start here. Endorsements aren't about fame. Reframe it. They are purely about value. They're a partnership, not a reward. And if you approach them with the right mindset, you'll have a much better chance at getting one. So today I want to break down 5 steps to getting endorsed. Let's get into it. Number 1, flip your mindset. It is not about you. The biggest mistake that drummers make when going for endorsements is that they think it's about them. It is not. They focus on what they want. I want free gear. I want to be able to say I'm endorsed. I want the credibility. But guess what? Companies don't really care about what you want. What they do care about is how can you bring value to them? How will you help them sell more products? What makes you a great ambassador for them? Does your values align with theirs? This is the most important thing to understand. An endorsement is not about getting free stuff. It's about building a mutually beneficial relationship. And once you shift your mindset on that, you're already ahead 90% of all drummers trying to get endorsed. Number 2, build your brand and your presence first. Before you even think about applying for an endorsement, ask yourself, what do I bring to the table? Companies are looking for an artist who has an audience and can make an impact. Do you have an audience? Can you make an impact? Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean that you need 1 million followers. But make no mistake, you do need some level of reach, influence, value, and or credibility. Hopefully all 4. So this could be a strong social media presence, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, regular live gigs with notable artists, session work on tracks and albums that people will hear, teaching, whether online or in person. I'll add, don't undervalue a roster of 30 to 40 students a week. That's a lot of eyes. And as an extension of teaching, running a successful community or online school. The key from all of this is visibility. And if no one knows who you are, I hate to say it, but why would a brand invest in you? Build your brand first, and then the endorsements will follow. Number 3, actually use the gear that you love to play. This should be common sense, but you'd be surprised. If you're trying to get endorsed by a company, you probably should already be using their gear. And not even just using it, but loving it too. Companies are not looking for endorsement chasers, people who just want their logo in their bio. They want genuine advocates of the product. So before reaching out, ask yourself, have I used this gear long enough to truly believe in it? Do I naturally talk about it and promote it already? Would I or do I already rep this brand even regardless of the endorsement? If the answer isn't a clear yes, you're probably not ready to pursue an endorsement with those companies. You should want an endorsement because you love and believe in the gear, not just because you want a good deal. And look, things can change, yes. That's the thing. Once you've built an audience and a strong brand, you do gain leverage too. And at that point, you may be in a position to move towards other brands that you are hoping to work with down the track. Companies that you've really had your heart or eyes set on as well. That's completely fine. None of these are 40-year contracts. But here's the key. The leverage only comes from showing up, genuinely showing up, putting in the work, increasing your value, and building something real. I can't really think of any company that's going to take a chance on someone that hasn't built up their own value first. And if they do, it could quite possibly be very short-lived. Endorsements are about facilitating what the artist and the company both need. They're about alignment between your playing, your platform, and the company's vision and message. Genuinely love the gear you play, talk about it, promote it, be proud of it, and the endorsements will follow. Number 4, do the work before asking for anything. Believe it or not, a lot of drummers email companies saying, hey man, I love your gear. How do I get endorsed? That's completely the wrong approach. Instead of asking, just start proving. Tag them in posts. Show them that you're already behind them as a brand and that you love their products. Create content around the gear. Show your playing off. Share demos, reviews, and just use it all as passive content whilst bringing them along the way. Show engagement with the company. If you use their gear live or in a studio, talk about it, but talk about it naturally and genuinely. Essentially, what you want to do is the job of an endorsee before you've even been endorsed. As they say, play the part. That way, when you do reach out, the company can already see that you value them. And speaking of reaching out, number 5, reach out the right way. So once you've put the work in, built your brand, and established your presence, now it's time to reach out. Most brands actually have an artist relations manager. Find the right contact, sometimes it's on their website, and just send a concise professional email. And here's what that email should include. Who you are, brief background, keep it short, why you love their gear, be specific, what you bring to the table, audience, work, influence, proof of how you already promote their brand, and why you think you'd be a great fit for their artist roster. The goal, make it easy for them to say yes. Build things up in a way where you've made yourself undeniable. And look, I'd recommend not DMing anyone. Everyone does this. But what you can do is strike up a conversation when they re-engage in the content that you've tagged them in. You tag them in a post when you post something, and then they like that tag and they repost your content. All brands need our content. It's a powerful position. So then at that point, strike up a conversation. Thanks for the repost, guys. I really appreciate it. I absolutely love your gear. Something to that effect anyway. So, final thoughts. The biggest takeaway from all this? Endorsements are partnerships, not handouts. It's an alignment of values and a mutually beneficial business relationship. So if you want to land a deal, shift your mindset. It's about value, not free gear. Build your brand, be visible and impactful. Use and love the gear. Authenticity matters. Show up and do the work. Prove your worth before even asking. And lastly, reach out the right way. Be clear, professional, and straight to the point. And here's the best part. When you genuinely love and promote a brand, they'll likely come to you. Put in the work. Focus on becoming the best drummer that you can be with the widest reach that you can possibly muster, and the opportunities will definitely follow. Trust me. But don't let the cart lead the horse. There is a process to all of this, and it will take time. Focus on building a healthy career and healthy relationships too, the best you can. Not everything you do will work for everyone that you come across, but remember, it's not about just having a logo in your bio. It's a value exchange and a mutually beneficial relationship. Let's leave it there for this week. If you like what I'm doing here, you can head over to masterminddrummer.com where you can sign up for my free weekly newsletter where I dive into all of these sort of topics: psychology, philosophy, how to level up as a professional drummer, etc., etc. You can also see the drum courses that I sell around areas of playing that I focus on. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.